After all this time, after all this searching, months upon months of research, and it comes to this. The reveal after all this time. And I'd been searching in the wrong place. The best Tomb Raider game. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Young Dad Gaming Reviews, the series where I review, recount, and reminisce the games that I grew up on, or games that I missed out on, and decide whether or not my sons will grow up on the same games, or which one should be avoided for now due to extreme violence, suggestive themes, or because the game just sucks. Next up, Tomb Raider Underworld. The final entry in the Reboot trilogy, released in November of 2008, Underworld sees Lara Croft finally closing in on the mystery of what happened to Father, and where her mother had disappeared to all those years ago. Is this finale a worthy send-off to this rendition of Lara, or should this be another tomb that should just go completely forgotten? Well, let's put on our diving gear, grab our harpoon guns, and punch a shark in the nose to find out. The game starts out in Lara's lovely mansion, where, oh my god, she's dead.
Oh. Uh-oh, I hope, do I gotta like immediately get into this? Uh-oh.
She pulls a Bruce Wayne and escapes her burning mansion, but not before almost getting shot by her companion Zip. What the hell, Zip? I know I said I didn't like you, but I didn't think that you took that personally. We flash back to a week ago where Lara is continuing her search for Avalon from the Arthurian legend where she believes her mother was transported to all those years ago. Finally, a Tomb Raider series with a consistent and easy to follow timeline. Kinda. Lara ends up in the Mediterranean Sea at an abandoned underwater temple called Niflheim from Norse mythology. Here, she finds one of Thor's gauntlets, the first of 3 special devices needed to wield the Hammer of Thor. Thor. Adding a bit of realism to the mythology. After obtaining the gauntlet, Lara gets ambushed. Lara gets ambushed by her old frenemy Amanda's mercenaries. She escapes and finds her way onto Amanda's ship where she meets an old, familiar face. Natla. This actually blew me away, as Tomb Raider 1 is still very fresh in my mind, and Anniversary was the second game in this Reboot trilogy. Bringing back Lara's first nemesis was an absolutely great touch. I genuinely felt that Underworld was some of the most fun I've had playing the Tomb Raider franchise in a long time, and I thoroughly enjoyed the story, which I feel, if you haven't played it yet, would be a disservice to the franchise to get all away. Though the story does really feel like a satisfying bookend, not just to the Reboot series, but to the franchise overall, as it follows Tomb Raider 1 and gives it a more proper send-off than Chronicles or Revelation ever did. Again with the water shit, dude. I'm literally like, oh, let me switch back to the controller, and again, see, this is nice, this is subtle. As the third attempt, the developers knew what worked and what didn't. Remember how I complained about the repetitive combat in Anniversary and how you just dodge and headshot every enemy? Fixed. Now, Lara has to build up an adrenaline meter that she can activate at will to perform this action, although it's not necessary, and I went through the entire game only using it about twice, as the combat is balanced and fair. Legend had Lara pick up and drop multiple weapons depending on what weapon you preferred, while in this game, Lara has a selection of each weapon from the beginning from her PDA with a limited amount of ammo. To keep my realism, I just selected one weapon from the start of each mission and used that throughout the stage, as from the beginning of each stage, you get to choose your own loadout. Speaking of, you now have the option to choose what outfit Lara wears for each location, with each outfit either being stylish or fitting depending on your choice. It gives the player a bit more freedom to play Lara as a carefree, sexy femme fatale, or as a proper adventurer. In my very first review, I mentioned how, as the games went on, they began to sexualize Lara more and more, and I had always viewed that as a bit of an insult to the character, as she was one of the first female protagonists to reach the levels of fame that she did, and not because she was a woman. This game allows some freedom for both parties.
I'm not distracted.
Yeah. Now, enough of all that. The most important aspect of the gameplay should be the movement, the platforming, the traversing. Lara's controls feel smooth and quick, with jumping puzzles and physics-based puzzles all genuinely feeling fair and very well thought out. But that doesn't mean it's without its flaws. I had so many moments where Lara would, for some reason, decide it would be a fantastic idea to jump off of a ledge or jump towards a ledge but veer slightly off to the left and miss the ledge completely. This even happened to some of the enemies as well.
Ah! What the heck?
I died countless times because Lara decided that the infinite pit of death seemed more attractive than the safety of the solid ground. With that being said, some of the platforming locations were my all-time favorite in this franchise. Incredibly tall, with the danger of you falling to your death, or falling and having to restart from a lower position, it added great challenge and fun to each platforming puzzle. Even the final boss isn't exactly a boss, but a massive platforming puzzle, and I mean massive. Even with all the deaths you're going to face in the game, it really isn't all that bad. The game is constantly autosaving for you, and if you miss a jump after you just landed on a new platform, the game will probably start you at that platform. My most favorite example of this, and I'm so sad that I didn't properly record it due to my internet connectivity issues, I was traversing through a hallway of spears and blades when I had gotten killed by one that flung me across the room. When I had reloaded the game, I was at the end of the hallway standing next to the puzzle piece. Now, maybe it's because I was playing on PC, but the loading times were incredibly fast. Now, if the loading times on consoles are much slower, then I can see how this can really be infuriating. Now removed are the repetitive and bland QuickTime events. See, I told you, QuickTime events can easily ruin a game. They have all been removed from this game altogether. Instead, you are now treated with occasional slowdowns where you, the player, need to quickly figure out and decide what you need to do to survive. They're thrilling and exciting when completed correctly.
But dude, the swimming levels are massive. They do not hold the fuck back. Usually it's like
Lara has never looked better in this entire series. They really went all out to make her look detailed and incredible. Amanda has also had a bit of an update to her look, but she's still my edge queen, so we're fine. My favorite detail to this game is Lara's evil doppelganger, brought back from Tomb Raider 1. She keeps the classic braid style, while the Reboot Lara has the more free-flowing ponytail. A nice callback and clever detail. The overall visuals hold up incredibly well, and each location Lara is introduced to all feel diverse and once again really make you feel like you're on some kind of grand adventure. Now, I know how underwater levels are usually the worst parts in video games, and while that remains partially true here, they look absolutely amazing. No longer is it a simple swim down this corridor and point A to point B bullshit. Lara jumps into the ocean and it really does feel like you're in a massive body of water. I commend the developers for these sections. Keely Hawes, again, is my favorite part of this whole game. She came into the role of Lara and owned it like the role was made for her. This, sadly, is the last time we will ever see her as Lara. Ha, nah. Wait, you think an actress this perfect for Lara would ever stop voicing her? That would be like any Scooby-Doo project not using Matthew Lillard as Shaggy. I'm still mad about this. Keely Hawes reprised this role for the 2 Tomb Raider spin-off games titled Lara Croft and something or other, and once again played the role in Tomb Raider Reloaded. There's honestly nothing more I can say in this area that we haven't already heard me say before. The music is amazing as always, makes me feel like an adventurer, yada yada yada. I love it. Let's just leave it at that. Tomb Raider Underworld is another bittersweet entry for me, as it's the finale to an incredible reboot that deserves so much respect and admiration for what it did, not only for the franchise and the character, but for the fans as well. It once again treated us with respect and graced us with another adventure that we're all a little bit better for going on. Overall, I have to give Tomb Raider Underworld a 5 Thor's Hammer out of 5, as this was some of the most fun I've had playing any Tomb Raider game. I have to give it a perfect score just out of enjoyment alone. Sure, there are a few bugs and bad controls here and there, but I can look past all of that when I think about how the game made me laugh and how it made me feel things when it was supposed to. As for the games I would let my sons play, this one I actually feel was a little bit difficult. It balanced a good level of simplicity from Legend and difficulty from the classic Tomb Raider games. Perhaps wait a few years. For nostalgia value, I missed this game when it first came out, and this was really my first time finally experiencing it, and it kind of made me sad for overlooking it when it first came out. Thank you all so much for watching. Apologies for the video being a little bit late. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this series, or if you enjoyed my channel, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment down below for your thoughts on this game or what games you'd like to see on this channel. Hit the subscribe button as it always helps me out, and ring that bell if you'd like to be notified. If you'd like to join me in playing and reviewing these games, follow me on Twitch at YoungDilf Gaming. Also, don't forget to check out Ellie's channel in the description below for more amazing covers. I'll see you guys in the next video, and on the other side. Bye bye!